The Qing Dynasty, the final imperial dynasty of China, spanned from 1644 to 1912 and marked a fascinating chapter in Chinese history. This period was defined by Manchu rulers from Northeast Asia, whose invasion triggered the fall of the Ming Dynasty and initiated the Qing era. Under the leadership of the dynamic Nurhaci, they unified Jurchen and Mongol tribes to form a formidable force. In 1644, with the capture of Beijing by Manchu forces led by Nurhaci's son, Dorgan, the Qing dynasty was officially established. The Manchu rulers adopted many aspects of Chinese culture, including the Chinese language, Confucian principles, and bureaucratic system, while preserving their native Manchu traditions. The cultural blend was reflected in various aspects of life, from arts to governance, marking a time of cultural integration and evolution. The Manchu rulers were patrons of the arts, with significant contributions to Chinese art, literature, and culture. The Kangxi and Qianlong reigns were the cultural peaks, with the development of the Manchu script and the Kangxi dictionary being major achievements. The Qing dynasty was a period of transformation and change, a time of cultural fusion and military expansion. The Qing dynasty, with its unique blend of Manchu and Chinese cultures, left an indelible mark on Chinese history, and continues to influence China's cultural, political, and economic landscape to this day. The establishment of the Qing dynasty was a monumental event, marked by the unification of diverse tribes and the capture of Beijing. This significant phase began under the leadership of Nurhaci, a charismatic leader from the Manchu people, a confederation of tribes in northeast China. He played an instrumental role in unifying Jurchen and Mongol tribes, using not only military strategy, but also the power of culture and identity. Nurhaci created a new script for the Manchu language, intertwining communication and shared identity, laying the groundwork for a unified dynasty. But the official start of the Qing dynasty came post-Nurhaci's reign, under his son, Dorgan's leadership. Dorgan led the Manchu forces to a monumental victory, capturing Beijing in 1644. The weakened Ming dynasty couldn't withstand this onslaught, leading to Beijing's fall and the rise of the Qing dynasty. The Qing dynasty now controlled a vast and diverse empire, guiding it through periods of growth, expansion, and cultural development, but also facing challenges and unrest. The story of the Qing dynasty is a saga of triumphs and trials, of a dynasty's rise to power, and its eventual fall. This remarkable tale continues to captivate us, offering a window into the rich tapestry of Chinese history. The early years of the Qing dynasty were characterized by military and territorial expansion. The ascension of Qing was a geographical reshaping of the empire. Their leaders, resolute and ambitious, eyed regions that held strategic and cultural importance. Each conquest showcased the military prowess of Qing and the strategic acumen of its leaders. They started with Taiwan in the century, their navy crossing the strait and asserting control. This move signaled the Qing's maritime power. Next, they took Mongolia, understanding its grasslands and nomadic warriors' value. This secured their northern borders and bolstered their cavalry ranks. Then they tackled Xinjiang and Tibet. These culturally and resource-rich regions were integral to the Qing's unified empire vision. The conquests marked an expansion into Central Asia and control over crucial trade routes. These endeavors weren't without resistance, but the Qing's disciplined military and strategies led to successful incorporation of these territories. Emperors Kangxi and Qianlong, their reigns marked with territorial expansion, cultural integration, and administrative reforms, took the Qing dynasty to its territorial zenith. Their rule consolidated the empire, making it one of the world's largest, stretching from the Pacific Ocean to the Pamir Mountains, and from the Siberian tundra to Southeast Asian jungles. Under the rule of emperors Kangxi and Qianlong, the Qing Empire reached territorial peak. This was an era of unprecedented growth and expansion, a testament to the Qing dynasty's military might and strategic vision. Following the era of expansion and conquest, the Qing dynasty entered a golden age of cultural achievements. The reigns of emperors Kangxi and Qianlong were particularly significant for their patronage of arts and culture. Under their rule, the arts flourished, and cultural forms evolved, leaving a rich legacy that continues to influence China today. The Qing era saw a diversification of artistic expression, with traditional Chinese painting styles merging with Western techniques. This period produced renowned artists like Lang Shining, a Jesuit missionary who astounded the court with his European-style paintings. His works, combining Western realism with Chinese symbolism, marked a new era of cultural fusion. Literature also thrived during the Qing Dynasty. The Manchu script was developed and significant literary achievements were made, including the compilation of the Kangxi Dictionary, an authoritative lexicon that remains a crucial reference for Chinese linguistics. Emperor Qianlong took it a step further by commissioning the Complete Library in 4 sections, a vast collection of Chinese literature and philosophy. This monumental project was a testament to the Qing rulers' commitment to preserving and promoting Chinese culture. The Qing Dynasty was not just a time of territorial expansion or economic growth, it was also a period of cultural blossoming. The rulers of the dynasty understood the importance of culture in unifying their vast empire, and they used it to bring about a sense of shared identity among the diverse populations under their rule. The Qing Dynasty was a period of cultural flourishing, leaving a rich legacy that continues to influence China today. The Qing Dynasty brought about significant demographic growth, economic development, and urbanization. The Qing rulers implemented policies that stimulated agriculture, trade, and manufacturing, supporting the empire's vast span. Grain cultivation and land reclamation projects resulted in increased food production, supporting the expansion of the population from around 150 million to over 400 million. Trade prospered under the Qing, both domestically and internationally, with the revitalization of the Grand Canal, facilitating the efficient transportation of China, became a global leader in manufacturing, with the production of silk, porcelain, and other crafts reaching new heights, due to technological innovations. Urbanization defined this era with cities like the imperial capital Beijing growing significantly. However, the Qing era was also a time of social transformation. The Manchu rulers integrated into the Han Chinese society while retaining their distinct Manchu identity, creating a harmonious multicultural society. They fostered a meritocratic society by refining the civil service examination system. This promoted social mobility and contributed to a more equitable society. The Qing Dynasty was a period of significant social and economic transformation. This era propelled China to global economic power, fostered vibrant cities, and cultivated a dynamic society. The changes brought about by the Qing Dynasty continue to shape China's landscape to this day. The 19th century brought challenges that marked the beginning of the end for the Qing Dynasty. The period saw China facing both internal uprisings and external pressures, eroding the once strong dynasty. Notably, the Opium Wars played a critical role in China's decline. Started to illicitly import opium into China, intending to balance out its trade deficit. This sparked 2 wars lasting from 1839 to 1860, where China was defeated, leading to unequal treaties that impacted the country's sovereignty. Additionally, rampant corruption and heavy taxation resulted in a disgruntled population. The Taiping Rebellion, a major civil war led by a man claiming to be Jesus' brother, occurred during this time, causing the death of at least 20 million people. The Manchu rulers also faced resistance from the Han Chinese majority, adding to the dynasty's instability. These crises, the Opium Wars, financial corruption, and ethnic tensions, significantly weakened the Qing dynasty. By the end of the 19th century, it was clear that the dynasty, ruling China for over 2.5 centuries, was in serious trouble. The Qing dynasty was on the brink of collapse. In the face of decline, the Qing dynasty made attempts at reform and modernization. Amidst numerous external and internal challenges, the dynasty recognized the urgent need for change. They initiated the self-strengthening movement in the 1860s, aiming to modernize China's military and economy based on Western models, whilst preserving their traditional values. But conservative elements within the dynasty resisted this change, viewing it as a threat to their power. Another significant attempt was the 100 Days Reform in 1898. Led by the young Guangxu Emperor, this ambitious program aimed to revolutionize Chinese society, government, and education. Unfortunately, this reform was abruptly stopped by a coup staged by the conservative faction. Despite these attempts, the reforms did not achieve the desired success. The dynasty's efforts to modernize were stalled by internal opposition and external challenges, which led to the failure of their ambitious reform projects. This inability to modernize effectively resulted in the empire's inability to its decline and regain its power and influence. The sun was setting on the last imperial dynasty of China. The Qing dynasty officially came to an end in 1912, marking the end of over 2 millennia of imperial rule in China. After years of turmoil and attempted reforms, the Qing regime failed to uphold its former glory. A new wind was stirring, sowing the seeds of an impending revolution. The Xinhai Revolution, an uprising against Qing dominance, traversed China in 1911. This rebellion was spearheaded by Sun Yat-sen, a man envisioning a contemporary China. His dream was not of monarchs and dynasties but of a republic. Following the Xinhai Revolution, Sun Yat-sen's vision materialized. The Republic of was born, supplanting the Qing Dynasty and indicating the cessation of the Imperial period. The tale of the Qing Dynasty's demise would be incomplete without acknowledging its last emperor, a child named Puyi. Crowned at the age of 2, Puyi's reign was marked by tumult. In 1912 he renounced his throne, concluding the Qing Dynasty and royal rule in China. Thus, the Qing Dynasty, the final imperial dynasty of China, came to an end, marking the initiation of a new epoch in Chinese history.